It was a united front, Marla. You could say that indeed. And the governor started this news conference with a history lesson of sorts. It goes back to Ronald Reagan, where during that time when he was governor, he closed the last state mental institution. Well, so this Proposition 1 is supposed to change that, because people would say that going back 50 years or so, that is the beginning of when this homeless crisis started, because there was nowhere at the community level for the mentally ill to get help. Drugs, mental illness, homelessness, a complex problem further hampered by bureaucracy.
The counties, no more pointing fingers at the cities. Cities, no more pointing fingers at the counties. No more pointing the fingers at the state or the federal government talking about.
That's the promise of the voters passed Proposition 1 in March. The bond measure would increase funding and unify efforts to deal holistically with those suffering on the streets. In a unified front, standing with the governor, representatives from Los Angeles City and County, fire and law enforcement, labor and service unions, all repeating the call for change. Sheriff Robert Luna calls the county jail system the largest mental health institute in the country.
Approximately 42% of our population is mentally ill. It shouldn't be this way. We need better alternatives. And that's why we're all up here supporting Proposition 1, because it will help allocate funding to mental health facilities so our neighbors, our friends with mental illness can get the treatment that they need and not end up in a jail cell.
Mayor Karen Bass points to rules that might allow drug treatment but not mental health treatment.
If you had to spend a couple of weeks in a tent, would you use drugs? Would your mental health deteriorate? We cannot separate these problems, and it is not enough to get a bed for a person.
Proposition 1 would change that and pump $6.4 billion into the effort.
This thing passes. We're promoting reforms in this initiative with the Assembly members' support and others to fast-track permitting, to fast-track the development, the rehabilitation of housing and facilities like this.
This is LA General, where there is a 2-year-old program with beds for the unhoused who need recuperative care, affordable housing, or mental health care.
What he's talking about, the governor, is expanding that maybe 10 times, which is what we need, because
all right, so what the governor went on to say is the return on investment, the ROI on Proposition 1, has to do a lot with the jails, because to house a mentally ill person in the jail, that is $100,000 a year. So imagine if you could keep that population out of the jail system, how much more money you would have. Now, this is a bond measure, so the state would sell the bonds. The only people that might see a change in their tax structure would be the very rich, those who make over $1 million a year. Now, some might worry that would give the very rich another reason to leave the state. Reporting live in Los Angeles, I'm Susan Hirosuna. Back to you.